Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Goody Life, where life is good and everything is great. I am Dr. Goody, and the Goody Life is all about finding motivation, inspiration, and self-growth in all different aspects and areas of your life. And if you've been watching my videos for the last couple of weeks, you know July I completely dedicated to health and wellness. Why? Because I can and I wanted to. You guys, if you watched the first video, you know I talked about how much I wanted to do health and wellness in May, but due to COVID, I didn't get a chance to do it, so I'm doing it in July. And the last couple of videos, I've had a couple of other professionals, a physical fitness trainer and a licensed nutritionist join me where we talked about the benefits of being physically active and what we eat on a daily basis and the importance of eating healthy, nutritious meals every day. So the last couple of videos, if you missed out on it, please make sure you go back and check those videos out. So one video, we were talking about physicality, so taking care of your physical self, your outer self. And last week's video, we talked about nutrition, what we put inside our body and how that benefits us, not just now, but in the future. Both videos, we weren't talking about just taking care of yourself in the here and now. That's very important and that's where it starts. But most importantly, we talked about prevention in the future. So making sure you eat well, you exercise well now so you can feel good, but it also helps to prevent other illnesses in the future. So since we talked about physicality, physical activities, and we talked about nutrition, what can I be talking about this week? I know. I'm talking about yoga. This week, I'm going to be bringing in a yoga instructor where she's going to talk about not just yoga, but the impacts of meditation, how important both of those are to incorporate in our daily life. I find yoga and meditation to help us from the internal side, where you're getting to sit with yourself, learn a little bit about yourself, and not only that, but the outer self, because yoga also helps with stretching and flexibility. So you become much more flexible when you practice yoga. So yoga and mindfulness, I find it to be a great thing, and it definitely helps in our health and wellness. So that's why this week I'm having our yoga instructor join us, and she will be telling us about all the health benefits of yoga and meditation. As I mentioned to you guys, I will be bringing in professionals from all different parts of the globe. And since today we're talking about yoga, I have our yoga guru for this week and yoga instructor, Jessica, who's joining us all the way from Colorado. Hi, Jessica.
Hello, thanks for having me.
And thank you so much for joining us. How are you? How is everything going over there?
Yeah, everything's going really good. It's summer and just trying to enjoy each moment as it arises.
Before we get started into it right away, if you don't mind giving us a brief introduction, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and maybe your journey into yoga. What got you into yoga?
Sure. So I've lived in 8 different states. I moved around with my family all before the age of 17. And I moved to Colorado from Pennsylvania, from the Poconos. Well, it's beautiful. It's really just heavily wooded and there's waterfalls everywhere. And so I was just surrounded by nature, and my friends, we meditated along the waterfalls, and I found a book, a yoga book from the 80s. And this was in the mid 90s when I found this book. It was my mother's in her library, and it had a woman in leotard, like a nice little 80s outfit, but she was doing yoga asanas. And so I started to do that in my bedroom, and I was doing cat-cow and kind of learning on my own from this book. And then when I moved to Colorado, my health kind of fell to the wayside. I moved my senior year of high school, and it was a challenging move to leave the Poconos, and I found myself with chronic fatigue and just not feeling very well. So I wanted to connect back to that feeling that I had from yoga. And I really just got into it, and I don't know, I love it, and I love to share it, and I'm a lifelong student, and so it's just been a fun journey for me, and it's fun to learn, and it's fun to share what you learn as well, or what I learn.
And remind me again, do you practice only yoga, or is it a combination of yoga and meditation?
Yeah, so for me, I call kind of yoga everything. It's like the very well-rounded approach that includes deep breathing, meditation, and following kind of the path of yoga, working towards non-attachment and mindfulness and letting go of things that are no longer serving. It's kind of a whole holistic approach.
So we're going to get a little bit double benefits today. We're not just going to find out about yoga, but you're going to somehow incorporate mindfulness meditation within it also.
Definitely.
Yeah, because all of it somewhat goes together, like you said, the holistic approach.
Correct.
So I'm going to dive right into it, Jessica. Because this is the most important thing everybody wants to know. How do they benefit? What's the gain when we're trying something new or when we're incorporating a certain practice into our lives? And since it's Health and Wellness Month that I'm doing, what are the health benefits?
Yeah, so coming from like a meditation and a deep breathing stance, stress reduction. Also from the asana or the movement practice would be the stress relieving too. So I would say the number one benefit from my point of view is grounding, just kind of detaching from everything that you have going on. I mean, oftentimes, most of the time, we're so busy, we're multitasking, our head is here, but our thoughts are over here, and we have all of these to-do lists and everything. And so it's just coming back to your unity between your mind and your body and your spirit. And to me, that's the primary benefit, is just coming back, bringing back all of the pieces and kind of letting everything else kind of fall to the wayside for right now, and really coming back to this moment, which is all that we have, is just this moment. So to me, the primary benefit is it's stress reduction, but there's these different tiers to that. It's calming, it's grounding. When you reduce stress, you also can improve your immune system, you can improve your happiness, you can become a more positive person, and then you could just feel better all the way around, and you can fill your cup. And when you kind of fill your cup and you feel good, you could share that with everyone else in a world right now that so desperately needs that. So to me, that's like the number one thing. But with the movement practice, with the actual postures, flexibility, strength, balance, coordination, those factors come into play as well.
Absolutely. You said it so nicely, but it's so in depth, those words that you said, practicing yoga and letting things go. It's such an easy thing to say, but it's really, really so hard to do. We don't realize sometimes when we head out into the world, and what I mean by hard is everyday stressors is hitting you, be it family, be it work, whatever. You can just be sitting there and a stressor will pop up. It's just part of life. And the idea when we practice yoga or meditation, at least for myself, I have been practicing it for the past few years now. And one of the things I realize is when you're sitting with yourself and you start to really find your internal peace, that's the part that nobody can take away from you. Your internal joy, once you have that and you're able to touch into it, at least that's what my learning is while I was practicing yoga and meditation. The next benefit that I really saw from it is my flexibility. I must say, I have gotten much more flexible through different types of stretches with yoga. So definitely, I think stress reduction is the biggest one. And we throw this word around, stress, so much that sometimes it has a strong value to it. And sometimes we're like, oh, it's just a word. But it's important for us to know that it does impact our body daily. And one way to really let that go is through practicing yoga.
Definitely. Well said. Yeah. And it is just that. It's a practice.
Yeah.
So like I said, the thoughts come in and it's hard to it's kind of hard to let them go sometimes, but it's a practice. It's kind of a practice of letting go. It's kind of fascinating actually if you think about it. But yeah, the thoughts will come in. You can just sit with them for a moment and then just kind of let them go like bubbles.
Just being aware in the moment. Thank you. Normally, when you have clients or when you're working with clients or even for yourself, one of the things sometimes I hear is yoga is a hard thing to start, or people think like, oh, I don't have the flexibility, right? Or I can't do it. What's your advice to a beginner or someone who just wants to start off yoga, or not just a beginner, but there's different modifications in yoga, right? And people, like, for example, one thing I can think of real quick is chair yoga. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's an adaptive version of yoga. So how do you emphasize that anyone can practice yoga, but we're just using different formats?
Definitely. And that's just it, is that yoga is for everybody. And you have to start somewhere. Everybody has to start somewhere. Everyone was beginner at some point. You know, we're all beginners. We're all learning. And yoga is a practice, so you'll continuously be a student. And so what I encourage people to do is to take different classes. And right now, I mean, we're at home more. And so YouTube is actually a great resource. You can type in whatever you want. So if you're interested in trying chair yoga, you can type in chair yoga. And you can even just start with 5 minutes a day. That's completely fine. You can type in beginner yoga in YouTube or just search it on Google, and there will be thousands of classes for you to try out. And if you don't like it, the good thing is you can just try something different. It's okay, you know, but I think it's okay to be beginner. It's okay to try new things. And the biggest thing is that you just have to be willing and open to trying new things. And if you are, then there's a whole new world for you to explore.
The reason why I asked this question is because, like, my parents, they're older, you know, and I think of what something that they would ask, like, oh, are we able to do, like, when I'm doing the back flip or I'm doing the downward dog, and they're like, I don't think I can do that, you know. But then I'm like, well, there is adaptive yoga. There's different types you can do for your age or whatever your level is. There's a type of yoga for each person individually, I think, for each level.
Definitely. And I always tell my students at the beginning of class to just do what feels best for you in that moment, because your moment can change, you know, from yesterday to today, from this morning to this evening. You can feel very different in your body. And so just listening to your body, if something doesn't feel good, come out of it. Yoga should never be painful. You know, it should never be painful. You're just breathing into different areas of your body when you're actually moving through the postures. So there's so many different ways that you can modify the posture. And I think finding someone that's able to guide you and work with your body in one-on-one sessions might be a really good starting point for a beginner as well.
Absolutely. I agree with you. There's a lot of options. There's all these virtual ways now that instructors are showing yoga and how to practice it. Also, there's a lot of YouTube video. For me right now, or for this YouTube channel here, we're just trying to give information on the importance of it, right? And you did actually touch base on one thing I wanted to ask, was the timing of yoga. I don't know if anybody have asked you this, but I have heard this question before. So for myself, I would normally practice yoga 2 or 3 times a week, and it's about an hour each practice. But then I also heard it's best to even just do it for 5 minutes, but do it every day. Is there any advice around the timing, or how much or how long we should do?
Yeah, I don't think it's a one size fits all type of, you know, suggestion that I would have. Although ultimately, if you could strive to create some sort of a wellness routine in your day, you know, with sleeping and eating and turning off electronics at a certain time, and you can carve yoga into that, and even, 5 minutes is fine. You can do so much to just turn off everything around you and come to the mat and just close your eyes and breathe and maybe move for a little bit and reset. Even reset your day in the middle of the day. You can do it in the morning to kind of energize and gain a little bit more flexibility and motility, or even in the evening to wind down to help you sleep better. So maybe trying it each day for 5 minutes at different parts of the day to see what feels good for you. And then you can begin to create that into your wellness routine, carve that into your wellness routine.
Absolutely. Sounds like what I say a lot, habits. Building that habit in, and 5 minutes doesn't sound very long, right? So it's much more doable if we just start off with that, and then you can add to it if someone likes to do that.
Yes. But I think, maybe just setting a goal for the week and saying, I am going to try 5 minutes of yoga in the morning on Monday, 5 minutes, on Tuesday in the afternoon, 5 minutes on Wednesday in the evening, and then on Thursday, I'll decide, Wednesday evening, I'll decide which one I like best. And then on Thursday and Friday, I'll move forward in that manner. So yeah, you have to try new things to see, I always tell people, and this might not be the best thing to say, but the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So if you don't try new things, then you might not get the results that you want. But if you do try new things and you feel better, then that's a win for you.
Absolutely. I agree with that. You have to try new things, and being flexible mind-wise is very important, not just physical-wise. A lot of time we think, okay, exercising, but having a flexible and adapting mindset is very important, because that's when we're going to be willing to learn. And once we're learning, we're growing.
Definitely. And there's so much to learn in the whole field of yoga.
So we talked about a variety of different benefits for yoga and how to start off yoga. For a beginner, somebody who's completely new to it, what tips and feedback do you give to that person as they're starting their journey into yoga?
Yeah, I definitely tell them to work first on connecting their breath, always starting just with breath. Connecting your breath to your mind and your body is the best starting point in my eyes. So I always kind of educate on breath and the importance of that. And then also listening to your body and doing what feels the best for you. In yoga, in the actual movement practice of yoga, we really want to work towards having a strong foundation. And that includes making sure that your spine is nice and tall. And it really can help your posture, it can help your breath, it can help with mindfulness as well. So I think that those 2 tips are very helpful. Well, 3, because listening to your body is really ultimately the most imperative part of yoga.
Thank you for sharing that. Is there any other health benefits or anything you can tell us that's of the importance for us to adapt before we kind of get into wrapping up this video? And you have a very exciting treat for all of us at the end of this video, but I don't want to miss out on the chance. If there's anything else you can add for yoga and how it will benefit us and why we should incorporate this in our day-to-day life.
Definitely. So again, I think the most important part or benefit of yoga is reducing stress and coming back to yourself and being mindful. But in addition, again, you can gain lots of strength and flexibility from the asana practice. You can also gain joint health. You can improve your joints. I'm rubbing my knees because you can definitely work towards that as well. And just kind of loosening up certain areas in the body. In yoga, it's often said that we carry different emotions inside of our body and inside of our mind. And so the movement practice of yoga can kind of help to open up your body, but it can also help to kind of release maybe some of those emotions that you might be holding on to. So it's a practice of letting go.
If someone is watching this video and they want to reach out to you and find out more about your practice and yoga, how can they find you, Jessica?
Oh, thank you for asking that. So you can visit VitalizedBody.com, which is my website, and that has all the information about the services that I offer and yoga. And then I also have a YouTube channel, which is VitalizedBody as well. So I share some meditation and yoga videos and lots of wellness information as well. So you can definitely look into that if you're interested.
Perfect. Thank you. So just so we can know how to reach out to you. So for the most important part, and I think what we're all excited to see, is to learn how to practice yoga, and you're going to be doing it for the next 2 to 3 minutes. So it's just a starter for all of us. So I'm going to pass it right over to you, Jessica.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, well, welcome to your mat. You don't need a mat for this practice, but if you'd like, we're gonna start in a seated position. So you can take a pillow or maybe a bolster or blanket underneath your low back if you'd like, or kind of sit on it, and then just find a tall spine. Your palms can be face down for grounding, or they can be face up if you want to receive some energy. So I am going to face the palms up, but you decide whatever you need right now. And then I'm going to have you close your eyes. Find a little bit more lengthen through your spine. Draw your shoulders flat back and tuck your chin in. And then breathe in. Fill your whole body up with air. Fill in. Hold it at the top. Take another little sip of air in. And then an audible, slow exhale out. Let something go. Inhale, breathe in something positive. Inhale. Hold it at the top. Take another little sip of air in. Audible, slow exhale out. Let something go. Seal your lips and begin to activate your Ujjayi Pranayama breath. So breathe in through your nose. A little constriction in through your back of your throat might happen, and then breathe out through your nose. Try it again. Inhale through your nose. Got a 5 count in, and then exhale through your nose. And then you can either blink open your eyes, or you can keep them closed. Inhale, lift your arms up. And then exhale, lower your shoulder blades down. Open up through your hands here. Open up through your palms. Breathe in. Find a little bit more length out of your waist. And then exhale, goalpost your arms. Draw your shoulder blades together. Gaze up. Inhale, lift up. Lift your arms up. Exhale, open. Just opening up your shoulders, opening up through the heart center. Inhale up. And then exhale, you can place your right hand down on the earth. Inhale, lift your left arm up. And then you can exhale and reach up and over to the left. A nice little side body stretch. If you want to, you can even walk your right hand out and then reach. If it feels okay, you can gaze up. Inhale. And then exhale, maybe just bend a little bit deeper into it. Inhale, lift your right arm up. And then exhale, lift. Go ahead and drop your left hand down. Inhale here, and then exhale, find the side body stretch to your left. Fill up with air, and exhale, maybe you fold just a little bit deeper. You can walk your left hand out if you'd like. Breathe in, and then exhale, stay deeper. Inhale, come all the way up, and then exhale, back bend. You can find an interlace behind your back and make a fist. Your wrists draw together. Breathe in, and then with an exhale, you can work your fists back and down, away from you to open up even more through your heart space. Inhale here, maybe exhale and fold just a little bit deeper. Yeah, and then inhale, your arms can come up. Exhale, you can drop your right hand down and take your left hand on the outside of your right thigh. Inhale, find length. Take your right hand behind you, and then you can exhale and find just a little twist. Inhale, reach your arms high, and then exhale, right hand outer edge of left thigh, left hand behind you. Inhale, find length, and then exhale, find the twist. Inhale, reach your hands up, just collect something positive. And then exhale, hug your hands to the heart center. Just hug that positive energy in. You can close your eyes. Breathe in and out. Then you can draw your hands to your third eye center, your seat of intuition. You have all of the tools that you need within you. Thank you so much. Namaste. Just a little practice, mini one. It's amazing how within even just a few seconds, your body starts to calm, your mind starts to really come back to where it's meant to be.
Thank you for that practice. And I think it was really relaxing. Just doing it, it helps you to feel the breathing right away on the inside. So thank you so much for that. And thank you, Jessica, for joining me today and bringing more awareness to yoga and the importance of us practicing it, especially during this time. And since we're going through a pandemic right now, I think we all can use a little bit of relaxation.
Oh, most definitely. Yes. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
So there you had it, guys. I hope you liked this video, and don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, share, and comment button below. Also, let me know, do you practice yoga and mindfulness, and how does that help you in your day-to-day life? See you all next week, where I personally share my own health and wellness journey and what that is like, what I eat, what my workouts, and how I practice yoga into my daily schedule too. So see you guys next week. Bye for now.